When you're looking at this, you're thinking, can I set my – these guys are already set up for life, but now he's got income coming in his 40s and 50s for sure, big income.
A new and improved Bobby Bonilla contract right there all the way through whatever age. But again, to me, it violates the spirit of the rules here and again, caters to all the big teams, the top 3 or 4 teams that everybody talks about. All right, let's go to the lines. Our number one Cochran Go One Better caller of the night is Chuck in Monroeville. What's up, Chuck?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, really enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
Hey, one question about Gensel and how he's performing, and especially the power play, suffering from the power play from the Penguins. I feel that Gensel is performing great versus the other stars. But you keep on saying trading them. Is that a good move?
Well, they have to do something. Kyle Dubas spoke today, and thank you for the call. Jay Gensel does not have a contract, which means you're not tied to anything, and the team that may want to acquire him can deal with them on his own if they do something like that. But he is part of the number 1 5-on-5 unit in hockey, or at least he was since last week. Andrew, he's on the Crosby line whenever Rust is healthy, and he's not. He's going to miss week to week now, it turns out. They got to do something. Dubas says he is completely cool with everything that's going on with the coaching staff. They're not going to make moves there, so it's incumbent on him to make moves. What does he do if this lingers on and on?
Yeah, Bob, I watched a lot of that today, and didn't Kyle Dubas have the feel? You ever see that thing on Twitter where there's that dog in the house and it's on fire and he's just sitting there drinking coffee and he said everything's fine? Like, everything's great with the coaches.
Like the violin player on the Titanic. He's just playing,
he's
things going down.
Yeah, he's being so complimentary of the job Sullivan's doing, and he's so impressed by him. You know, he's talking about the way that the power play functions in practice and how in practice these guys are so willing to do things that they're uncomfortable doing. But then none of it translates to games. And I just wonder if he's still in a honeymoon period where he's trying to get his bearings right and trying to get himself acclimated. And that's buying these guys more time. Unfortunately for the Penguins, because of their age, time is not really on their side. And so patience is not a virtue in this situation. And that's what concerns me is I think Jim Rutherford's instincts in this situation, and he's a 2-time Stanley Cup winner with the Penguins, very different from what I heard from Kyle Dubas today, Bob. He sounded like a general manager who was preaching stay the course. And I'm just not sure that's the right attitude to have, given how they played so far this year and how they performed last season in missing the playoffs.
Right. I agree with that, and I also think he's kind of hands are tied. He bought into what they had here, doubled down, and part of this goes back to the Hextall regime with some of these deals, and now he's kind of stuck. He's brought up guys from the minors. He's brought in Jesse Pugliarvi, who's going to play, I think, tomorrow. So they're trying things, but they don't have many other ways to go, and they got to get better production from the bottom 6, and certainly that power play can't go over 37. Let's go to Dave and Katanning on line 1. Hey, Dave, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Bob? You're looking great. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you.
I just have a comment. I came up under watching Bill Cowher because he had the jaw. And in these days and times, I guess it's just Mike Tomlin, and he has the eyes of accountability. But it seems like ever since 2010, we haven't done anything in the playoffs. Mitchell Trubisky, he always looks very afraid on the NFL level. I think Mason Rudolph is a better option. And today I just think that Mike Tomlin is nothing but a big HR manager, vice a chalkboard coach with a good offensive and defensive philosophy. And it just seems that Coach Tomlin just can't stop the bleeding every time we're down a few scores, or either we can't start right or we can't get rejuvenated after halftime. And it seems like we get excited after every summer camp just to feel this big, huge letdown after playing the worst teams in the league. So at the end, I just have a comment for, or pretty much just, you know, some positive words for Coach Tomlin to, you know, show some passion on the sidelines, you know, fight for us, show us that Iron City spirit, and stop with all the political correct answers after the loss of games. Thanks,
Dave. One of the things I noticed today, Andrew, is right off the bat, he was more critical of the defense not stopping New England after the interception by Peppers, instead of talking about the offense not being able to do anything. And certainly the defense allowed things to happen that probably they shouldn't, given the fact that Bailey Zappi was under center and they hadn't scored a lot of points. But he doesn't seem like he's very interested in criticizing the offense the way I think he needs to.
Well, I think 18 points with the backup quarterback should have been enough to beat New England. You're playing one of the better defenses in the NFL, but a totally incompetent offense.
We're due for a break. We'll take it, come back with more. You're watching the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We are here 7 nights a week on KDKA+, and we'll be right back.